Hey vinyl community, Jeff here yet again. Same shirt because hey, I'm making a bunch of videos at this one pocket of time when I have the time to do this. Things have been really hectic recently. They're going to slow down in a few days, but for now we're knocking some videos out while we have a gap of time here. Anyway, today we are talking about some new releases, some price drops on Amazon on some fairly new releases. Well, maybe not. Yeah, year, 2 years. Anyway, price drops on Amazon. Some new releases that recently came out. And if you don't know, I just saw that the Record Store Day titles have dropped. Was it today or yesterday? I don't know. I looked at it today, and I went through and found the ones that I wanted. But you want to go check out the Record Store Day site and see what you're wanting. This is probably one of the first full Record Store Days since the whole COVID thing, and supposedly, I mean, it's a big one. There's like over 300 albums, I believe is what they're saying. I looked at the list and skimmed through looking for bands that I wanted. And here's my want list so far. The Eric Carr Rockology CD that came out many years ago. A lot of the Eric Carr stuff, Eric Carr being the drummer from Kiss, he had recorded some stuff. He had done some of his own music. He sang some, things along that line. And there was, after his death, they released a CD called Rockology, and I've had that CD since it was released, but they're reissuing it now on double vinyl and another CD. I don't know if that means there's going to be bonuses or if it's just going to be a reissue for the heck of it. Definitely want to get that. Dio live in Fresno, 1983, right in that sweet spot. 1983, great stuff. Another double live album from Dio that I would definitely be grabbing. The Mr. Big album. I picked up the other one, Record Store Day, recently, so I'll probably end up definitely grabbing that one. And Queensryche, Operation Mindcrime 2. Was that on vinyl at some point? I think it might have been. It's outrageously expensive if it is. But anyway, that's being reissued. And it was great to see that the Van Halen Sammy Hagar catalog is starting to finally get the vinyl reissued that the other albums have. And so the live album right here, right now, is the first one coming out. It's going to be on 4 vinyl records. A few bonus tracks, 3 bonus tracks, I believe they said, that are additional live tracks. However, the retail price that I'm seeing online is $99 for 4 records. That's 25 records, 25 a pop. Now, a lot of times, Record Store Day releases like that will come out on Record Store Day, get a big hype. It's on red vinyl. And then maybe 6 months later get reissued on a different color, maybe standard black. So I don't know. If I don't get it, I'm hoping it's going to come out. Because if they're going to reissue the other Sammy Hagar stuff, I can't imagine they're going to make it real limited. But anyway, looking forward to those. And then, as I mentioned, Dio, speaking of that, one of these, I can't remember which one, I grabbed them both at the same time, but one of these on Amazon dropped from the $30 range down to $23. So I picked up the 2 recent reissues of the Dio at Donnington. There was a reissue on vinyl of these a handful of years ago where they had Dio at Donnington 83 and 87 in one set. But that's outrageously priced now, so they have been reissued as separate sets. This is 87. It's got the lenticular cover. It's a double record set. The 3 sides, and then the 4th side is etched. There's some pictures and stuff, but not a whole lot here. It's just standard black. I won't even go into showing it, but it's just, great stuff from Donnington in 87, and great to have that. And then again, they did release the 83. This one has a lenticular cover, but the one that I had on Amazon, and maybe this is the one that dropped in price, I can't remember, it dropped down into the low 20s. So I thought I better scoop that up because it hasn't been that low before. But anyway, this is Donnington 83. Again, same thing, 3 sides live, 1 side etched. And again, just wanted to have both of these, and so there you go. I picked up the double CD, the CD of both shows that came out many years ago, and then, like I said, they reissued that on vinyl. But now I got them both individual. This one I've had on my list forever. It dropped down into the teens, and I grabbed it, and then I realized, this was actually the only other album by the band that I needed, and that's Buzz by Autograph. It was like $16. It's on yellow vinyl. It was released in 2020. I have and this is one of the last, I think it's the last album that has, Steve Plunkett, the original singer. Because then the album that came after this is the one that has a new singer. But anyway, this is, it's a great album, and I've had the digital tracks and probably the CD for many years. 2003 album. But there you go. Came out on vinyl on Deadline in 2020. yellow. And so, yeah, when it dropped down that low, I thought, you know, I want to grab it because I have everything else around it. I have the early albums and I have the one that came after this, so grab that one. A band that may or may not have heard about, Sacrament, Presumed Dead. This is their first demo EP, pressed to vinyl for the first time, remastered. The band self-released this for the most part. It's on the label. But the Sharon or Quran, I don't know, Collective. Anyway, it's a small label, kind of released more or less by the band. They've done a lot of work. Early thrash stuff from the, was it early 90s, I believe. They had 2 albums that came out that had been reissued on vinyl a handful of years ago. Great stuff. But this was the early demo before they got signed. And so now we pretty much have all their material on vinyl. Now, the band members have gotten back together in recent years, and I should have pulled it, but they released a CD called The Testimony of Apocalypse. Sweet stuff, great stuff. Sounds very much like the Sacrament years. The first album had 1 singer, second album had a new singer, and this album is from, of course, the first singer, and Testimony of Apocalypse is back with the original singer. So great stuff, and this is a great addition to the set. And it seems like I just talked about these guys recently because they've been pumping these out on vinyl. And I swear I got the other ones maybe a month ago, but it's probably been longer. 2 more Accuser albums have hit the racks. These came out actually probably more than a week ago. Diabolic. Accuser is a German thrash band. They've been around since the, 80s, 90s. And so they've gotten a lot of this stuff never before on vinyl. And I'd mentioned in the last video that I talked about them that it's like they started in 95. And they're releasing stuff this way. So we've had a couple albums that were in the early 2000s, and we had a couple albums that were in the earlier 90s. They're kind of like going from the middle out. And so we'll eventually, I guess, get them all. But here we go. This is Diabolic. You know, just great stuff. I want to keep up with these because they're pumping them out and taken by the throat. Another one in there. So, yeah. So I think, man, I should have pulled them all. But what is that, like 6, 7? I don't know how many we've got now, 6 or 7, 5 or 6 or 7 Accuser albums just in the past couple months. So there you go, just a handful of new stuff, handful of Amazon price drops, and just some great news about Record Store Day. And I will see you later. Rock on and rock hard.